I feel like churros are a staple when it comes to theme parks and amusement parks. Like, who doesn't like fried dough? Just a tasty snack, am I right? The thing is, some people do churros better than others, of course. And we hear this a lot, especially when it comes to discussions about Walt Disney World's churros. They're not known for being good, really. But I'm also not a churro aficionado, so I don't know, you know? Still, we wanted to see what the other theme parks in the area had to offer, and I also wanted to see what people said was the best churro in the area and see how that stacked up as well. So that's our mission for today. We already tried Magic Kingdom's churros. We know that they're not great, and we've got 2 other theme parks that we can try, SeaWorld and Universal, so we're gonna put that to the test. And then there's one more place. There's one more place that when I looked for the best churro in the area, this came up. It's not what you think, but I can't wait to try it because I've been wanting to. So let's do this. Let's have a churro-filled day. You ready? So our first stop for today was SeaWorld. Unfortunately, I can't take you in there right now. I don't know what to tell you. SeaWorld has rules, and so I'm awaiting permission to take you on a SeaWorld adventure, but I did run in on my own. You're just gonna have to use your imagination for this one. I picked up a churro. It's half gone at this point because I did want to taste it fresh. You know, like I want to keep the playing field as level as I can. Like I said, this is half of it. It was about twice the size. Initially, it was served warm. It was $10.11, which just feels absolutely outrageous for a churro. I did taste it while I was in there, and you know what? It was everything you could have asked for. Crispy on the outside, but not too crispy. Nice and soft on the inside. Borderline chewy, so not like fluffy and airy or anything like that, but lots of cinnamon sugar. I'm actually gonna take another bite. It's still pretty good. Does this rank higher than the Disney churro? Even though the Disney churro does have a leg up because that one had like extra sauces and stuff. I'm gonna say yeah. The overall texture, just much more pleasant. Also, lots of cinnamon sugar goodness, which I think is fantastic. I know that that's not necessarily an even playing field with the cola churro that we had over at Disney. It was kind of a different thing, but just the churro itself, better churro, in my opinion. But you know what? It's off to the next. Let's go to Universal. All right, here we are. The Universal Orlando Resort. I gotta be real with you, Universal's been talking a big game when it comes to churros. I've been following the socials like you do, and they keep talking about churros. I don't know why, because I didn't realize that a churro was like the go-to snack here, but we're gonna see what they got. And I'm expecting a lot. I mean, I know that I'm probably setting myself up for failure with that, but still. I feel like you just can't be flaunting your sticks of fried dough like Universal has been without actually having a solid product to deliver. So we'll see. Also, it's the holidays here. It's the holidays everywhere at this point. But also the holidays here. And I think that this is one of the best places to enjoy the holidays. We'll get into that some other time. Let's jump in and grab a churro. The big question that I have for Universal is how hard is it gonna be to actually get our hands on a churro? It was tough to find a churro over at SeaWorld. They had them, but there just wasn't a whole lot open when we wandered through. I see a place that sells pretzels and turkey legs, not churros, so we move on.
A few moments later.
All right, here it is. The Universal churro. It is piping hot. Also $6.50 for this churro. A little bit more if you wanted chocolate sauce, but I didn't want chocolate sauce today. So let's do the honors. Dink. It's a pretty good churro. Crispy on the outside, a little bit more crisp than the SeaWorld churro, but not hard like the Disney churro. And the inside is fluffy. It was a little bit more doughy over at SeaWorld. This is really good. I think the only major difference for me that I did like about SeaWorld that I don't like as much about this one is that SeaWorld's had a ton of cinnamon sugar on it, much more cinnamony. It's much more cinnamony flavored. But I think that this is a better overall churro, in my opinion. One more bite, then I gotta bring you to what is supposedly the best churro in the area. And you're not ready. I promise you're not ready. Really good.
One eternity later.
More specifically, a week. Yeah, it's 1 week to the day since we first started this little adventure of ours. I don't know if you can hear it, but I'm getting over a cold, which just, it hit me like a Mack truck. So I took a few days off, gave myself some time to heal, but now we're back at it. And I brought you to the place that I told you you're not going to believe has the best churros, but I did all the research. They say this place has the best. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to head in there and we're going to grab churros from Walmart. Well, not technically from Walmart. We're getting churros from a place called Churro Mania, which is located a few different places, but also inside the Walmart that some of you might have frequented when you're grabbing groceries or whatever, if you happen to be staying off property, more specifically in the Walt Disney World area. This is actually a pretty great little spot. We've got Walmart here, which is where we're sitting right now. There are a bunch of little places to grab a bite, kind of in this parking lot, but across the way, there's a Publix and some additional places to shop and grab a bite to eat. There's a gas station, like right in this parking lot. In fact, there might be another one down the way. I can't remember, but there are a few along this strip. I honestly don't know what else to tell you other than to say that this spot has a lot going for it and it's one to be aware of. But like I said, we're here for the churros, so we're going to pop in there, try one of these churros and see how it stacks up compared to everything else that we've tried so far. You ready? Let's go. All right, so we have our churro from Churro Mania. Before I even open up this package to take a look, I have to say there are a few things that have Churro Mania kind of standing out compared to some of the other options that we've tried thus far on this little adventure of ours. So obviously we're not at a theme park. There's that. This is a chain. It's located all over the place, not only here in the Walmart that we happen to be at today. This is just such a convenient location. I think it's worth highlighting, But these are also made fresh. So they haven't just been sitting around under a heat lamp, I put my order in and then it was made fresh right then. I will say it's a good looking churro, and because it was made fresh, it was piping hot when we got it. It's not as big as the other churros that we got. They were like twice this size, and this one was just under $8. I also didn't get any fillings or anything like that so that we could keep it fair, but they had plenty of options to choose from. Let's take a bite. Okay, I can definitely see why people think that this is the best churro in the area. This is delicious. All the things that we really liked about some of the other churros that we've tried, the texture of the dough, the crunch, the cinnamon sugar, it all exists in the perfect combo in this Churro Mania churro, at least in my opinion. And again, we kept it super basic today. We had so many options to choose from, and that kind of gets me thinking about why I think people really like this spot. It's much more than just a churro place. Now, we didn't focus on it today because I was just here to try a churro and stack it up against other similar churros, but we could have had, a churro dog, right? Hot dog and churro. What more could you ask for? But they also have like sundaes and churro bites, and they have fillings and so many options to choose from. They also have other stuff as well, like bottled beverages. I think they have smoothies, and they offer like combo meals. Honestly, I think that Churro Mania is the perfect addition to the list of places that you've probably gone, really, in a Walmart, but actually turn out to be really good. In fact, we went to a coffee shop in a Walmart out... Is it in Dr. Phillips? I'll put a link in the description box down below. That really stood out to us as well, though that's kind of out of the way, so I can't imagine too many people are going to find their way out there, but you probably won't be far from here if you're vacationing in this area. But look, before I let you go, because our adventure is coming to a close, I know it was a lot of fun, and we did have to make our way back into the car because it started to drizzle. Let's talk about the ranking of churros. I think it's easy to say that number 1 is Churro Mania, without a doubt. Number 2, we've got Universal Orlando. That churro was fantastic. Number 3 on the list, SeaWorld. while it wasn't perfection, it was a little more doughy than it was light and fluffy, it was still pretty good, and the bottom of the list, unfortunately, is Walt Disney World. But you know, here's the thing. At the end of the day, one thing that I wanted to do was set out to prove that you can still have a really good churro even in Florida. I think that sometimes people excuse away the humidity and that's why the churros suck here. No, that's not it. And honestly, I think that we proved that today. But let me know your thoughts, pop them in a comment down below, and if you think you can get a better churro in the area, tell me about it, because I'll give it a try. Of course, I'm looking forward to hearing what you guys have to say, but until then, enjoy the rest of your day. Try and stay dry if your weather's looking a little like this, and I'll catch you guys soon. Bye.